There have been a lot of times where SML has publicly mocked or made popular brands look bad, and today we're going to be going over all of them. Starting off with the time SML publicly made fun of the popular sponge, Scrub Daddy, by making an incredibly racist version of it. We see this in SML movie Poor Cody, and in the video, Judy and Tyrone's bills are unfortunately past due, and they need a way to make money. However, Tyrone notices the Scrub Daddy and Scrub Mommy sponges and realizes that there isn't a black version of it.
Wait, where's the black one?
Oh, I don't think there is a black one.
So you telling me they made a scrub cracker, a scrub Mexican, and a scrub Asian, but not a black one?
I don't think so.
Wow, we getting more racist and more racist by the day.
So due to this, Tyrone gets the crazy idea of making a black version of it, and his original naming of the idea ends up being the Scrub N-word, which surprisingly gets approved. However, Steve Staleberger ends up getting smacked by Tyrone due to him saying the N-word, so they end up changing it from Scrub N-word to Scrub Brother, due to not being allowed to say the N-word on live television.
Trying to get that stubborn stain off your plate? Scrub, nigga. Old dry food on your spoon? No way. Scrub, nigga. Now introducing Scrub Brother. Apparently, you can't say the N-word on televised broadcasts.
Hi, I'm Steve, and I made the unfortunate mistake of saying the old name of the product.
But that was the past. Steve ain't gonna say it no more. He learned from his mistakes.
But of course, as expected at the end, the owner of Scrub Daddy shows up to sue Tyrone. However, Tyrone pulls the racial card on him and ends up winning the lawsuit in the end. Now, this video was really funny. However, it's clearly mocking Scrub Daddy, as the actual company does sell a black version of the sponge. However, it's simply called Scrub Daddy like the other ones, and isn't called Scrub Brother like SML portrayed it to be. Clearly, SML was heavily slandering the product by changing the name of it to be more racist. However, we also see SML slander Wendy's in SML movie The Krabby Patty Meal. In this video, we see Junior and his friends watching the TV like usual. However, out of nowhere, a commercial for the new Krabby Patty Meal from Wendy's comes on, and the boys immediately get excited, as the meal is supposed to come in this super cool looking box upon buying it. However, once Chef Pee-Pee gets back with the meals, Junior and his friends realize that it was all false advertising, and the meal looks quite like normal Wendy's, taking away all the charm from the Krabby Patty Meal. And all of this causes Junior, Joseph, and Cody to go publicly slander and hate on Wendy's in the video.
Dude, that's a fair crash out, because what the hell is this?
You're telling me for years and years and years people want to know what a Krabby Patty tastes like, and finally SpongeBob gives the rights to the Krabby Patty to a fucking fast food restaurant, and they give it to bum-ass, fuck-ass Wendy's, and this is what they do? Like, this is what they do? Like, Cody, be honest, be real. If you were a regular person walking by and you saw this, do you think it's a SpongeBob meal? Does anything say SpongeBob?
No, actually, it just looks like Wendy.
Now, this whole video essentially consisted of Logan letting all of his anger out on Wendy's, because quite frankly, the meal is horrible. And before this, Logan even uploaded a vlog on Chili's channel about it, where we would see him go on a full-on rant about it.
I know exactly how we're gonna do it. We're gonna just sell it in a regular fucking brown bag and say it's a Krabby Patty. People can eat that shit up because look, I ate it up. I ordered it. They should have went with McDonald.
Bruh, even Burger King would have went hard with a SpongeBob meal. Dang, not only did they give me food poisoning 4 years ago, but they also F up the SpongeBob meal. Now, this crash out is obviously valid, as Wendy's truly wasted this opportunity. And just a year later, Burger King would actually end up doing the same thing and making it way better. But the slander from SML towards fast food places isn't done yet, as we see SML mock McDonald's for a pretty valid reason. In SML movie Cody's French Fries, the video kicks off with a commercial coming on TV announcing a new McDonald's location is opening, and the first person in line would get a ticket for free French fries for an entire year. Now, obviously, this got Junior and his friends excited, so they went to wait in line. However, they all eventually go home and leave Cody to be the only one to wait in line for the fries. And in the end, Cody ends up being the only one who even waited in line, and Junior gets pretty pissed at the fact that Cody got the ticket and he didn't, but Junior ends up cooling down quickly as they all find out that the advertisement was false. It turned out that you were only able to get one medium French fry a week, which is not what the commercial said at all.
Oh, you didn't tell him? Oh, you don't get unlimited fries. You only get one medium fry a week for a year.
Wait, you can't get all the fries you want?
Nope.
Huh, gay?
Yeah, that's what Junior said.
Now, this video was obviously throwing heavy shade at McDonald's due to this dumb rule on the ticket. However, in reality, it's pretty fair that McDonald's did that, as unlimited free fries would clearly get out of control. However, none of these situations actually got out of control, unlike the Starbucks lawsuit situation, which SML completely mocked in SML movie Good Men Sue Starbucks. This video starts with Marvin trying to figure out dinner while Rose and Jeffy argue that jelly beans and Scooby snacks totally count as a meal, which turns into candy flying everywhere on the red couch. They then see a news report about a guy winning $50 million from Starbucks from spilling coffee on himself, and Mr. Goodman immediately decides that he wants in on that action. He purposely dumps hot and iced coffee on himself, drags Brooklyn guy into court, and thanks to an overdramatic Judge Poobie, Goodman actually wins the money. Fired up with jealousy, Marvin tries the same stunt, only for Starbucks to switch to room temperature drinks, so he ends up with a coffee-soaked face and $0. Now, this video was based off the real event and also mocking of Starbucks at the same time for the viral incident where an employee ended up spilling hot coffee on a customer in the drive-thru due to the coffee lid not being placed properly, and the guy actually got $50 million thanks to a big lawsuit against Starbucks. But a company that SML absolutely destroyed for decades at this point is none other than Nintendo. Now, there have been multiple ways that SML has destroyed Nintendo in their videos, with the first way simply being how Logan used their characters from 2007 all the way to early 2021. Now, the reason as to how this is mocking Nintendo is due to the fact that Logan has basically made the company look bad by making their characters say and do obscene things, hence why they received a cease and desist from Nintendo. Now, obviously, this reason is the most obvious. However, another thing that SML has been doing more recently is shooting references in Nintendo, especially with the Lewis character, who is SML's version of Luigi.
Yahoo! We're so fucking sued. Why would you jump out of a pipe?
Well, I just came in from the Shroom Kingdom.
The Shroom? That's not a real place.
Now, this isn't the only time, as there have been way more instances of this. And to top off everything, in SML movie Jeffy's Evil Uncles, we see SML mock Wario and Waluigi by making Warvin and Wal Lewis.
Holy f***ing lawsuit.
Who are these people?
I'm Warvin. And I'm Waluis.
Warvin and Wal Lewis. How much more f***ing sued can we be?
Man, Logan is testing Nintendo's patience. Holy fucking lawsuit, they're close to getting sued again. Yeah, it's clearly obvious that Logan is testing the limits of Nintendo, but another company that SML uses to indirectly slander them is DreamWorks. Now, the character that is mainly used for this is Shrek, and I think you all know where this is going. As we all know, for the longest time, Shrek has had the character trait in SML that he likes to shit a lot. And back in the day, we would see Shrek shitting in almost every appearance he had, which is just insane. And a majority of these videos were truly disgusting. SML movie The Ring being an amazing example of this.
Shrek, you okay?
Donkey, open the door. I can't see.
You can't see?
Oh, Donkey. Oh.
Now, obviously, these Shrek scenes in videos clearly gave a different outlook on Shrek than DreamWorks probably would have liked. And even Logan has become aware of this, as nowadays he doesn't use Shrek as much for this very reason. And when he does, we don't usually see the nasty pooping scenes. And to prove my point even more, Logan has stated in vlogs that in the past he was thinking of making human puppet Shrek, so he wouldn't be able to get in trouble for the acts that Shrek does.
We are going to bring Woody and Shrek back, but I don't want to bring Woody and Shrek back as Woody and Shrek. I want to bring them back as puppets as well. I know what you're thinking. No, why do they have to be puppets? Because what if I make a year's worth of videos using Shrek and Woody, and then Pixar and DreamWorks show up at my door with their wiener out and say, suck it?
Now, Logan definitely had a really good point when it comes to this, and thankfully, Logan has seized the DreamWorks mockery. However, we aren't done with these movie companies yet, because Logan has done the exact same thing with Disney, and we would primarily see this with Mickey Mouse and Goofy. Now, a lot of these characters from the Mickey Mouse show have been cussing in SML videos before. However, every time they're in videos, they literally consist of cussing and inappropriate inappropriate jokes, which clearly isn't good. And Logan most likely isn't already sued by Disney due to the fact that he doesn't use these characters that much. However, some really good examples of times that Logan has publicly slandered Disney is in SML movie Junior Goes to Disney World. In this series, we see a part where Mickey Mouse is mocking the fact that everything at the Disney amusement parks are insanely expensive, along with the fact that Disney is money hungry, which are commonly brought up facts for Disney parks.
You're spending lots of money? Go buy yourself a bottle of water for 20 bucks, huh?
No, I haven't spent any money.
What? You haven't spent any money at all?
No, we haven't spent any money. We ate before we came.
What are you doing here, you miserable bastard? Go buy yourself something immediately.
And not only this, but later in the video, we see Mickey Mouse literally snorting coke. Yes, I'm not even joking.
Oh, Jiminy Cricket, that's some good shit.
What the hell is wrong with you, Mickey?
There's someone at the door, Mickey Mouse.
Now, obviously, this is not a good look for a character that is commonly watched by millions of toddlers and young children. And SML's audience mainly consists of young children, so yeah, this also isn't good. And hopefully, Logan tones it down with this type of stuff, as these companies will not take it lightly if they ever find these videos. But let's take a break from these big movie companies, and let's talk about how Logan once mocked the Jolly Ranchers candy. And we see this in SML movie Junior Almost Goes to Sleep Forever. In the video, Junior is with Joseph and Cody happens to bring a bag of Jolly Ranchers, which causes Junior to start eating them. And clearly, he was sort of brain dead at the time, as Junior ends up choking not once, but twice on these. And eventually, Chef Pee Pee stepped in to save Junior's life, which caused Junior to forcefully have to become Chef Pee Pee's servant due to Chef Pee Pee saving his life. Now, while this may have been indirect, this video was basically mocking Jolly Ranchers for the fact that they are easy to choke on, due to how they are made. One wrong move while sucking them, and they can cause a person their life.
I was trying to make a sad TikTok, then choked on my Jolly Rancher.
Without a doubt, the true intentions of this video are to mock the fact that Jolly Ranchers hold this reputation. And honestly, this is insanely likely, as Logan basically mocks everything. But another instance where SML has mocked a product's issues is in SML movie Rich Brooklyn Guy. In this video, we see Jeffy get his hand stuck on his head with Gorilla Glue. And later on in the video, Rose gets her head stuck on Jeffy's head, also thanks to the Gorilla Glue. Now, this video isn't exactly fully mocking the brand itself. Rather, it's actually mocking the stupidity of people when it comes to this product. As in recent times, there have been a lot of instances where people have done stupid things with Gorilla Glue. But I think we should point out the most popular incident, which is how a girl glued all of her hair together with Gorilla Glue. The girl who did this is Tessica Brown. And hear this.
Hey y'all. For those of y'all that know me know, my hair has been like this for about a month now. It's not by choice. No, it's not by choice. When I do my hair, I like to, finish it off with a little Got to Be glue spray. Just to keep it in place. Well, I didn't have any more Got to Be glue spray, so I used this. Gorilla Glue spray.
She applied Gorilla Glue on her hair to hold it down as she ran out of hairspray. Yeah, that's pretty stupid to say the least. Now, this is honestly a really funny way that SML mocked both Gorilla Glue and how stupid people can be with the product. But we see SML absolutely destroy a similar situation in SML movie Junior's Big Mess. In this video, we see Logan show off how big of a mess Coke and Mentos can truly make by making Junior and Toad do it. And all of this results in Junior breaking his arm due to the beating that Chef Pee Pee gave him. Clearly, this is another instance of SML indirectly mocking the brand Mentos, as similarly to the Shrek and DreamWorks situation, SML gave Mentos a bad look due to showing what it really does when putting them in Coke, and the huge messes it can make. However, in SML movie Pop Rocks and Coke, we see SML mock the Pop Rocks brand. However, they were actually mocking a huge rumor / urban legend that existed for ages. In this video, we see Chef Pee Pee consume Pop Rocks and Coke, which causes his stomach to explode. And this resulted in Junior and his friends finding his remains in the kitchen.
Chef Pee Pee? What's going on? What was that? No! Chef Pee Pee exploded! Chef Pee Pee exploded!
But by the end of the video, it's revealed that Chef Pee-Pee was just playing a prank on Junior. However, Brooklyn Guy's head actually exploded during the moment as Brooklyn Guy claimed that he ate Pop Rocks and Coke when he was 19. Now, this video was definitely a crazy one. However, this video is directly mocking Pop Rocks for the huge urban legend that the company has held for ages, which consists of the fact that if one person consumed Pop Rocks and Coke, they would have a chance of death, as their stomach would explode due to the products that Pop Rocks and Coke contain. However, while this whole urban legend seems crazy, it isn't actually true at all. Both of these products wouldn't cause your stomach to explode, and the rumors have gotten so crazy in the past 10 years that even the popular food company General Foods had to send out letters to schools and take out false advertisements so they can try and delete this rumor that was giving the company a bad reputation. However, while this is fully fake, some people claim this is real. However, they are most likely just trolling and trying to scare innocent children, similarly to SML. But a kid from my school had a cousin who knew a kid who this happened to. He swore it was true. But now that we've talked about one of the most interesting entries in this video, let's cover how for the longest time, SML has slandered Burger King directly and indirectly in many ways. Starting off with one of those instances, which was in SML movie The Burger. In this video, Junior, Joseph, and Cody are playing baseball in the living room, when the baseball eventually gets hit a little too hard and ends up going behind the fridge. And once Junior and Joseph go to retrieve the baseball, they find a weird looking moldy burger with black buns. And of course, Junior, his friends, and a bunch more people take bites out of it. However, you may be wondering where the actual slander is, because this already pretty much looks like a Burger King burger. Well, in the video, they say the burger looks and tastes disgusting, when in reality, this is just the Halloween Whopper that Burger King dropped in 2015. However, SML doing this probably made people truly believe that Burger King was selling a nasty burger if they saw their advertisements for it at the time, especially due to the fact that Logan used gack to make the burger look even more disgusting. And Logan even had to call poison control due to the smell. And to top everything off, the video didn't help the fact that Burger King was already facing backlash due to the fact that this burger made people's poop green.
Why is it crunchy?
Yo, you have to taste, Cody, you have to taste.
It's awful.
Dude, that's so horrible.
The Halloween Whopper caused problems because it turned everyone's poop green. But this is only one of the many times that SML has made Burger King's reputation worse towards its fans, as ever since the Angry Ronald character got introduced, we see Ronald talk down on Burger King in literally all of his appearances, and Ronald always tries to one-up whatever the Burger King does in every possible way.
McDonald's is clearly better. There's no way anyone would eat this shit. D-I-C-K, your food tastes like dick.
At this point, you can't even tell if Angry Ronald is saying all of this as a character trait, or if Logan truly has hatred towards Burger King, which is why he makes Ronald say all of this. But what about the brands that SML has mocked, but for their huge stereotypes? Two of these brands are used a lot in this sense. In SML, KFC and Kool-Aid are primarily seen in Dougie videos. Now, as we all know, Dougie has always been a super stereotypical character towards black people, and SML used KFC and Kool-Aid to expand on his stereotypical character traits, as both of these brands are commonly stereotyped towards black people, and SML doing this just makes these brands look even worse, as these brands will never have these sort of stereotypical intentions towards any race. However, the internet nowadays is no joke, and they can practically make anything a stereotype of some sort. However, our next entry was mocking both a brand and a celebrity, and all of this was seen in SML movie The Tylenol Problem. This video kicks off with Jeffy insisting that it's wagon time even though he's 21, and somehow he even convinces Marvin and Rose to pull him around like he's a toddler, while he snacks on the Krabby Patty gummies and complains about the speed limit. However, things get chaotic fast. Jeffy freaks out about the tiniest movement, the news pops on Donald Trump claiming Tylenol causes autism, and suddenly everyone's panicking about headaches and presidential honesty. Brooklyn Guy shows up, accidentally calls the president a liar on live TV, and before long, there are laser pointers, evil twins, revoked medical licenses, and deportation threats flying around. By the end, a ridiculous standoff involving fake Epstein files scares everyone off, proving that in this house, things can go from wagon rides to national crises in about 5 minutes flat. Now, this video was clearly mocking both President Trump and the Tylenol brand due to the accusations they got from Trump back in September, when Trump made a wild statement claiming that when pregnant moms take Tylenol, the newborn child has a high chance of having autism, and Trump advises people not to take Tylenol.
I want to say it like it is. Don't take Tylenol. Don't take it. If you just can't, I mean, it's fight like hell not to take it. There may be a point where you have to, and that you have to work out with yourself, so don't take Tylenol.
Now, obviously, the President of the United States alone says this gave a bad look on Tylenol. However, SML, out of all the channels making a video about this, is just insane, and didn't help the situation at all, and instead just completely mocked everything about it. But unlike most videos on here, people found some serious offense to this one. I have autism, and I find it to be offensive. 0 out of 10. This video makes fun of people with autism, which is absolutely offensive. Consider yourself screwed, SML, for making jokes about Trump and autism. But this wasn't the only instance where SML mocked a company for their products causing issues or special needs, as we saw SML completely destroy McDonald's for their E. coli problem in SML movie The Burger Problem. The video opens at McDonald's headquarters, where Ronald gets called into a meeting, completely ignores the warning that quarter pounders have E. coli, and even films himself eating one to prove that they're fine, only to immediately get sick. However, he still doesn't care until he hears Burger King is beating them in stocks, which suddenly makes this a personal crisis. Meanwhile, Marvin sees the outbreak reported on the news and tells Jeffy not to eat his burger. But then Ronald shows up at their house begging Marvin to fake getting sick from a Whopper to hurt Burger King's reputation. Marvin almost goes along with it for $1 million, but Ronald keeps changing the plan, even sabotaging the burger to actually make someone sick. But of course, Jeffy ends up eating it for the money, lands in the hospital, and Ronald pretends to be his dad while trying to spin the story for the media, all until the literal Burger King shows up and exposes the whole scheme.
Well, Ronald, tampering with my burgers? Well, if it isn't the Bitch King. You're just trying to get attention away from your E. coli, aren't you? Actually, yeah, you kind of nailed it right on the money. That's exactly what I'm doing. Well, doing that to my burgers is not going to get rid of your E. coli problem.
Now, obviously, this video was poking shots at McDonald's for their E. coli problem that started back in September of 2024. Basically, many people were seen getting E. coli at the time, and doctors eventually figured out they got them from McDonald's quarter pounders, specifically the slivered onions. And this outbreak caused 104 people to get sick from it until they eventually resolved this problem in December of 2024. Clearly, SML based it off this scandal and essentially mocked McDonald's the entire time with the angry Ronald character. However, SML didn't mock McDonald's as bad as they mocked DiGiorno pizza in SML movie Bad Super Bowl commercials too. Now, as we all know, DiGiorno is a frozen pizza brand, and in advertisements, they commonly claim that the pizza is better than delivery, especially with their common phrase, "It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno." However, in the SML video, we see an ad on TV, and in the ad, Poopy completely talks trash about it, saying it tastes like shit, which is clearly a direct jab at DiGiorno.
Yeah, this tastes like a DiGiorno pizza. Like one of those shitty frozen pizzas? Is that what that is? Oh, that is what it is. Yeah, this sucks. I would actually much rather have like Papa John's or something.
But this isn't the only instance where SML threw jabs at popular companies during the Super Bowl videos. As in SML movie Bad Super Bowl commercials, we saw Jimmy Butler himself get his own ad for his coffee brand Big Face. Now, as we all know, Brooklyn Guy is a huge fan of Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. However, one thing that he hates a lot is how Jimmy focuses a little bit too much on coffee rather than his basketball career. And in the video, we saw Brooklyn Guy talk insane crap on Big Face coffee for no reason.
That's big black coffee, so please buy my coffee so I can stop playing basketball.
Damn it, Jimmy, focus on playing fucking basketball. Nobody wants any of your shitty coffee.
Now, these past two jabs at these popular companies have been for no valid reason, but the time where SML absolutely destroyed FNAF and all the AMC movie theaters was honestly a justified crash out. We saw this in SML movie Jeffy's FNAF popcorn bucket. In this video, Jeffy begs Marvin to take him to see the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie. And after a lot of whining, they go to AMC theaters, where the tickets and snacks cost a ridiculous amount. Marvin ends ends up spending nearly $200 on tickets and overpriced collectible popcorn buckets just to stop Jeffy from screaming. A minute into the movie, Jeffy gets scared and runs out, and the theater refuses to give Marvin a refund for everything. That night, a nightmare chica tries to steal Jeffy's cup, but when they unmask the monster, it turns out to just be Chef Pee-Pee in a costume. Now, the main point of this video is that everything was super expensive at the movie theaters, but specifically the FNAF popcorn buckets. These buckets were costing people over $60 at the time, which is obviously ridiculous and a flat-out scam for plastic popcorn buckets. And in this video, SML was essentially clowning the movie theaters for their stupidly dumb prices. And honestly, this slander was one of the few fair ones SML has done. Now, clearly, the pricing for these buckets was crazy. However, the price for the Apple Vision Pro was even more absurd. And we saw SML mock this in SML movie Goodman's Apple Vision Pro. In the beginning of the video, we would see Apple CEO Tim Cook on a commercial. And in the commercial, he was advertising the brand new Apple Vision Pro. However, in the commercial, we would see Poopy Tim Cook absolutely destroy Apple for their stupidly expensive pricing for the Apple Vision Pro, along with comparing it to the Meta Quest 3 and even calling it a piece of shit.
Well, the Meta Quest 3 goes for about $700. So how much do you think I'm gonna charge you for this piece of shit? Double? Triple? Quadruple? Oh, you wish, buddy. This bad boy goes for a whopping, horribly egregious $4,800.
Now, honestly, Poopy and SML had a really valid point in this video, as the headset in real life is $3,500, which is still horrible, as you can literally buy a Meta Quest 3 for $500, and still be able to access social media apps like Instagram and YouTube, and still be able to play a lot of games on it. And let's just be honest, who needs an Apple headset to check messages when people have iPhones? And clearly, SML manifested how ridiculous this product is, due to the fact that as of 2026, the product is not being bought due to how expensive it is. To the surprise of no one, an overpriced paperweight that no one invested in, developers included, is flopping. But the Apple Vision Pro isn't the only product featured in SML that didn't live up to its potential, as the fried chicken Cheetos were also a heavy disappointment. And we would see SML express this in SML movie Dougie's Fried Chicken Cheetos. The video kicks off with Rose handing Marvin some pizza rolls, and he's all confused because he thought that she was making a real dinner. Then he nearly chokes on one while Dougie randomly asks to borrow $500 so he doesn't have to get a real job. After Dougie accidentally saves his life by smacking him, Marvin tries to repay him with some rare fried chicken Cheetos, which sends them down a ridiculous rabbit hole involving secret phone calls, along with Jonathan, who swears the chips were a mistake made in Thailand. Somehow, this turns into Prince Abu Dhabi showing up with the ultra rare Cheetos while demanding wild trades. First Rose, then something even wilder, until Marvin is told that the only way to seal the deal is by getting Chester Cheeto himself. In the end, Chester agrees to become the prince's pet for the coveted Cheetos. Dougie finally gets one single Cheeto after all that chaos, and he would actually end up hating it, going as far to say that he would have preferred the $500.
It tastes like shit. I'd rather have the $500.
Now, Dougie saying this is a clear instance of SML throwing shade at Cheetos for their expensive fried chicken Cheetos, which were a huge letdown to the SML crew. And they even would give some comments on it during the behind the scenes.
What it tastes like? It doesn't really have, it tastes like not fried chicken. It's very European.
It's freaking weird.
What does it taste like?
I don't know. I think because I smell the coffee, I taste the coffee.
See, I taste something completely
I think it's just because I smell it though.
It tastes like... Now, I've never personally tasted them before, but honestly, fried chicken flavored chips do not sound good. So overall, this was yet again another reasonable crash out. But we aren't done with valid slander videos, as we have also seen SML destroy Rockstar Games on multiple occasions, due to the fact that they quite literally haven't dropped GTA 6, and it's almost been 14 years since GTA 5 came out. And the most recent video we saw SML slander Rockstar was an SML movie Junior Plays Grand Theft Auto 6.
Are you fucking kidding me?
They delayed GTA 6 again!
They keep doing this over and over and over again. Why won't they just drop the goddamn game?
It was supposed to come out in May. Now they pushed it back to November. But it's November right now, so it's a year away.
A whole year. They keep twisting and teasing us, dude.
What's gonna happen next November? They're gonna push it back to the next November, then the next November, the next November, next November, next November, next November.
Yeah, honestly, I don't blame Junior and his friends at all for crashing out. But these moments where SML gave horrible looks on companies have all been cool to see. And if you want to see more like this from me, then you should click the video on screen. I'm sure you'll love it.